Why do we care so much about the things we love? There is this weird kind of ache you get when you love something deeply, and no one around you really gets it. It's quiet, lonely. You spend hours perfecting a thing that barely matters to anyone else. And for a while, you start to wonder if it even matters to you. Then someone sees it, someone that feels the same way, and maybe for the first time, you feel understood in a way you didn't know you needed. That is where my dress-up darling starts, with a random meeting between two people who couldn't be more different. And somehow, it turns into something really special. And it all starts with Marin. Marin is your stereotypical gyaru, loud, cheerful, unapologetically obsessed with the stuff she loves. She's into magical girls, cosplay, and adult visual novels. And she will talk about all of it openly, like all of it. Which either makes her look like the coolest friend you've ever had, or the weirdest person you've ever seen. What I instantly loved about her as soon as she got introduced is just how much she doesn't care about what others think. And that isn't even really because she feels about them. She's just completely oblivious. Like, she doesn't understand why any of the stuff she likes will be considered weird. She loves what she loves, and that's the only thing that matters to her, not how others feel about it. But that same energy, the thing that makes her so open, is also the thing that tends to derail her. When she loves something, she throws herself into it head first, which is why she decides she has to cosplay her favorite character right now. The only problem is, she's terrible at it. Her first attempt at a costume looks like a cursed arts and crafts project. The sleeves are wrong, the stitching is off, nothing fits. But she's still proud of it, even if it's horribly bad, simply because it means something to her. It's her way of getting close to a character she loves. Even if the execution is a disaster, the intent is real. And that's why she works so well as a character, because even though she messes up constantly, misses deadlines, gets distracted, doesn't plan things out, none of it comes from laziness. She just acts on emotion. She gets an idea and immediately tries to make it real. Not necessarily because she thinks she will succeed, just because she wants to. That kind of passion isn't polished, but it's honest. And that's what makes her instantly likable. Gojo couldn't be more different. He hides his passion like it's something to be ashamed of, something that would make him unacceptable. When he was a kid, he told someone he liked Huno dolls, and they crushed him for it. Since then, he's kept that part of himself locked away. But despite that, he never stopped loving it. He spends hours sketching kimono designs and painting doll faces with tiny, perfect brush strokes. You could say it's random, and frankly also a bit weird. But it should never get to a point where you feel like no one should know about it. Unfortunately, out of our two characters, most of us probably relate a lot more with Gojo. We all have our own stuff we are passionate about and would give everything to be able to do for the rest of our lives, no matter how small or unimportant it might be. But we are also just as scared of the idea of others knowing that. Like one time, a friend showed my channel to a group of girls, and I don't think I've ever felt more ashamed. Even though I love what I'm doing, even though I care about it, I still felt like I needed to disappear. Like it wasn't acceptable, or normal, or something worth showing people. Gojo is exactly like that. No one knew what he loved, until Marin did. And oh man, his world changed at that moment. That scene where they share their passion is a perfect reflection of why they are so lovable. They start from opposite ends, Marin throwing herself at her passion without a second thought, and Gojo hiding his like it's some kind of shameful secret. But what brings them together is the way they slowly start making space for each other's obsessions. Marin never questions why Gojo cares so much about Huno dolls. She just respects that he does. And Gojo, even if he doesn't understand everything about cosplay, still tries to make it perfect for her. Simply because he sees how much it matters to her. And when someone sees your weird little obsession and treats it like it's something deserves to be taken seriously, that's powerful. It is really interesting to look just at passion in anime. Our characters are usually passionate about something grand, something that will change the world, like Deku becoming the #1 hero, Naruto becoming Hokage, Luffy finding the One Piece. And that is exactly what makes anime so compelling. We see characters trying to achieve things that seem unreachable to them. And I absolutely love that, but I really appreciate how here we have something we can actually relate to. It's so much more personal, and I really appreciate that we have something this simple as the focus of the story. It's a kind of thing where no one would ever call you out for it, but if you didn't fix it, you'd hate yourself. I had that with videos, trying to find the correct clip for hours, that 99% of people won't notice, or even care about. But I care, and that's enough. I really love this scene with Gojo, where he stays up all night, just trying to get one part of a custom stream to sit right. No one would even notice it's wrong, but he does. And that is painfully relatable. Which brings us to our next point. As you can see, it says it right there, this is mainly a romance anime. But what I love about it is that romance is never the main focus. Obviously, there are a lot of romantic elements, and that is the end goal at the end of the day. But it never gets in their way of their passion, which is what makes them bond. When it comes to romance anime, all of them take a different approach to how the characters connect. What is it that brings them together? But a lot of them fall into this trap where there is nothing beyond the characters getting together, which I personally find kind of irritating, because I want to see them being together. It feels like it cuts off at the peak. Toradora is one I really loved, but when it ended, it felt like it stopped right when I was most invested. I wanted to see what comes next, but there wasn't a next. Most romance deals with that by either getting the characters together early on, like in Horimiya or Bunny Girl Senpai, or adding something in front of the romance so it doesn't become the focal point or the end goal. Like in The Dangers in My Heart, the goal is growing as a person, Ichikawa becoming someone he can be proud of before actually pursuing romance. My Dress Up Darling does it really similarly, by finding a common goal between our characters and growing the romance out of that instead of starting with one being in love and then connecting them through passion. Obviously, not everything is perfect about this anime. The reason it got so popular so quickly was because of fan service, which I'm not a huge fan of, especially when it comes unexpectedly. But there is a really simple reason behind why it exists. Attention. People post clips about it. It goes viral. Others complain about how weird it is. It goes viral. Yada yada. The show goes triple platinum. I noticed that this is actually a really common way of clickbait for romance anime. Aya did this a year ago. Bunny Girl Senpai did it as shamelessly as they could, just to have Mai in a bunny suit for 5 minutes. It's really just to get the people's attention, and as annoying as it is, it's just what sells at the end of the day. But even with all that, My Dress Up Darling never felt cheap to me. It never felt like it was trying to trick me into caring about these characters. I cared because it let me watch them grow through quiet moments, small failures, dumb jokes, and their weird obsessions. It's rare to see a romance anime where the core relationship isn't built around will they or won't they, but around look how hard they are trying. And I think that's what really stuck with me. Watching Marin obsess over a character design, or Gojo panic about stitching, or the two of them just ramble about niche stuff only they care about. It reminded me of how good it feels to be around someone who just gets it, who doesn't make you explain why you care so much about this tiny, ridiculous thing. And sometimes that's all it takes. I finished season 1 with a huge smile on my face, because I just genuinely like spending time with these two characters. Watching them mess up, watching them get excited, watching them slowly pull each other out of their shells. If you want to hear me ramble a bit more about why I love romance, where romance isn't the main point, click on this video. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, goodbye.